you're fucked. You're going to be fucked. Yeah, it's true, of course. You're not going to sleep at all. You become some competent if they're incompetent, yeah, because you're going to do absolutely everything. Of course, it's not your home food. Yeah, I used to cook all the time. Yeah, I'm cooking, but it's fine. Yeah, you can always maybe agree if you have the highest rank. You can ask something.
Okay, this is advantage. Hello friends, I'm Captain Yevgeny and you are next to our channel, and today we have a guest, my friend Yevgeny also, and he's a professional on FPSO vessels and he has a lot of modern ranks which are much more different from the standard rank which we get used to from the cadet, then mate, chief mate and the captain. But let's start from the beginning and welcome Yevgeny.
Hello, Evgeny. It's my pleasure to see you finally. We were trying to catch up, I believe, for last 2 years.
Yep.
We were planning to catch up in Brazil and Spain as well. And finally we are here.
Here we are in Spain.
Yeah.
How's it going? How did you find Spain?
Better than Brazil, but still boring. But Spain is also different. You can say about Barcelona and Valencia, it's much more active. Yeah. It's a huge difference between Alicante, El Campello, San Juan, and etc.
So why did you decide to become a seaman?
I didn't actually, how it was. I have a brother, a younger brother, 1 year younger, 1.5 actually. Both of us, we were studying at school in the same class, we were together. He came earlier. And our parents just proposed to go to college due to our uncle. By the time he was already a captain on LPG, a gas carrier, and of course, and they just asked if you want to go. I say yes, of course. But by the time I was 14, I didn't have any idea what is that. I say let's do it, let's try, and we went. It was Maritime College of Technical Fleet. It was 2004.
When you entered the educational process for Marine?
Yeah, it was after 9th of classes. I was 14 years old.
Okay.
And it was 2004. I have 2 diplomas from there as junior specialist, 4 years, and as bachelor, 6 years. And later on, I graduated also from academy, 1.5 years as specialist.
So you were born and grown in Odessa?
Yeah, I was born in Odessa.
And then Odessa is a seaport. It's quite common for our citizens to choose the profession of seaman. We have a lot of seamen in Odessa, but having your knowledge, what you have now, if you that time knew what you know now, would you still choose the profession of seaman, or you would try to find yourself in some other direction?
I don't think so. Actually, what I do now, I really love it, but I would start from that point what I'm doing now. Unfortunately, it's impossible, first of all, due to certification. You can't jump straight into oil and gas. It's not common for us, not for our countries. I didn't like to be a seaman at all, but what I am doing now, it's totally different. And I like it.
So
I love it.
What you're doing now, it's just actually a new step, a next step of the seafarer career. Can we call it? Can we call it that what you achieved now is just because what you were passing through?
Yeah, there was no way to enter it without your seafarer background. In our case, I mean, I'm not from production. I don't have any idea what is production by that time. I didn't have. So our education and our career as seamen gave us a lot of opportunities to choose next step, what it's gonna be. And everything depends only from you. What is the most, the most of the people don't have any idea what it could be. And we are.
I want to ask you about the educational process. Do you think the education actually built a big and strong stage or base for your future career, or the education, the value of education now need to be revalued?
As my point of view, education, it doesn't have sense at all, almost, but it developed you like a person. That knowledge, I mean, we don't use it at all. Exactly now, I don't need it, yeah. It gives you understanding, some kind of survival skill, yeah, motivation, hard working, what it have to be, yeah, in the future. Some kind of adaptation. To be honest, I don't remember a lot of mathematics, astronomy, meteorology, and everything. I don't use it, yeah, so I don't need it. But it gave a lot, yeah, actually. And to be honest, actually, I understand well now why it's so important to have highest degree, yeah. Those people who have finished, who have graduated with the highest degree, they already achieved something. They already know what is discipline. Because those people who did not have it, you can see a huge difference. Not all of them, definitely, of course. But most of them you can see. What kind of education, and nobody knows what's gonna be valid in 10 years, 20 years, yeah. But those skills which you get at school, at university, college or whatever, it will work forever. Everything just depends from you.
Did you study hard? Were you like, say, it was easy for you, or you, let's say, didn't take it seriously, or you attended all the classes and you have excellent marks?
No, actually, I was studying not so well initially, yeah. And with every year I was studying better and better. But I remember if I got some final mark 3, I always try to change it, yeah. To make it 4, at least 5.
At least, yes.
And I was spending nights until late night, 8, 9, 6, just to repass exams, tests, whatever, yeah. And it motivates, yeah. It doesn't make sense what kind of mark you have, yeah. But what you are trying to do to get better, it works finally. I was studying better and better with every year, yeah. And I like it. And, you know, when people know that you are trying to do something and you already have some kind of reputation, yeah? And reputation works for you.
Okay, then
it's absolutely everywhere, yeah.
In few years, yeah?
Yeah, in few years. And finally, what is the most ridiculous, I was studying a contract, yeah? 6 years, 4 years as junior and 2 years as bachelor. And I joined academy on a budget. For me, it was ridiculous, yeah? I was so surprised. Based on ratings, me and my brother joined on budget, yeah? So which was...
Yeah, we call it budget or governmental support, the governmental pay.
Yeah, so, but it was interesting, yeah. It was just some kind of self-satisfaction, yeah. I didn't save a lot of money, but it's not about money.
About achievement and
yeah,
self-feeling.
Something like that one, yeah, some kind of self-satisfaction. That's what it was. Education was interesting, yeah, quite tough sometimes because Marine University is not that easy. It's a lot of rules and everything, yeah. It's hard, it was hard, yeah. You can't compare it with work. Work is much harder, but it was hard as well, yeah. What was hard for me, I was having very long hair, long curly hair, and it should never touch your collar, yeah, based on rules, yeah. And I always was trying to hide it, but it was funny. I would repeat it again with a pleasure.
Do you remember any funny or maybe shock story when you've been studying during your education?
I think the most curious moment was on fourth course of college when I was trying to pass exam on astronomy. I think it took for me around 7 attempts. Yeah, it was like the teacher was clearly hate me, and I finally passed it. I think on 3 or 4, most probably just 3, yeah, on mark. It was quite interesting. Yeah, astronomy is quite hard itself. You have to just learn everything. Yeah, it was very tough, but it gave me a lot of. Maybe that's why I become so hardworking. Yeah. When you finally trying and you achieve the target.
Why you didn't pass first attempts? Like the questions were difficult, you didn't answer?
Yeah, he wants to have everything perfect.
What is going on? You are taking the, let's say, attempt. You can read the questions, and then what was your impression?
Yeah, if I answer but not fully as required, be some of them maybe I did not answer. Okay, it was very tough, really.
So the lecturer actually didn't force you a lot. So, but you simply could not answer.
He forced himself as well. He was very strict. He was very. It looks like he was enjoying that I was coming all the time to him. Yeah.
So he was fan of his, let's say, subject.
I believe it was fun, but I was not that well as well. Definitely, I was quite bad on it, yeah, to be honest. But
So you didn't like celestial navigation.
I didn't, but finally I achieved it, yeah. But it built up a lot of skills, yeah, which is really that what is the main cause of the education, yeah. Not what gives you, but what you are learning with it.
Tell us about your first steps on seagoing career.
As everybody knows, we have to have 12 months here to get officer license. We have to have 12 months practice, first of all, to finish, to be graduated and to have officer license. So initially I started with some ship repairment in Richovsk, something like that here, on some dredger fleet. But mainly I was just fishing nearby the vessel, yeah, and feeding cats around. Of course, we were doing something. It was a few voyages, I believe, in 7 months or in 8 months, which I was there. It was my first practice, and 18 years old, I went for seagoing, yeah, service. It was LPG, Naftamar, one of the biggest LPGs at the time. It was Gas Progress. Ex names, it was Len Soviet and Most Soviet. I believe
I was on a Gas Atlantic, it was Len Soviet,
Yeah, so
and Gas Progress, it was Most Soviet.
Soviet,
But we
yeah.
didn't know each other at that time.
No, it was 2007. It was 2007. I was a cadet. It was very interesting for me. I was waiting to join vessel. Yeah, it was delayed. I was worried, of course, at the time. And I remember May, I believe, end of May, we fly to Singapore. It was my first time in Singapore. We spent for a week. The vessel was delaying. It was quite interesting. We had a lot of fun. And I started my voyage end of May. We joined from Singapore and went to China and Korea. You know, we went to Saudi Arabia, yeah, for loading. So vessel was in ballast, and it was so terrible, yeah, because it was fucking rolling like a hell.
In Indian Ocean.
Yeah, the biggest, you know, they have very high freeboard. It's not a tanker, yeah, it's a tanker, but it's different. Gas carrier. I couldn't sleep at all, yeah. It was. I was blowing up just all the time. Yeah, it was for 2 weeks, and my first impression was so terrible. Yeah, I promised myself, so I will come back. I will not finish even my education because it doesn't work for me. It's not my case. Yeah, it was very tough, really, for first 2 weeks until we reached Saudi Arabia, yeah, for loading. And later it became better, yeah, a little bit. We load. We make a voyage for a month to China, Korea. We were having a lot of fun. It was quite interesting. So, and I get used it. So it was interesting. I made around 4.5 months. What I didn't like that time, it was crew, yeah, because crew was ex-USSR, and I understood it's not gonna work for me. Yeah, it's a lot of gossips, fighting, alcohol, and everything. I mean, everybody knows from us how it is. So I made a voyage. I disembarked earlier because my contract was 6 months, and I made around 5 months. I disembark, I think somewhere in Dubai, in Fujairah. It was my first voyage. And next voyage, I made a COC of junior officer, junior specialist of navigation. And I joined as third officer. It was, I think, 3-4 months after first voyage. It was product carrier, 28,000. I was 19 years old, yeah, and I was third officer. I replaced the guy who was 60 or 62. He was fired, actually, yeah. He haven't been in sea over the 20 years. So you can clearly understand what kind of company is that, yeah. But it gave me chance to become an officer, yeah. It was crazy 4 months, really. It was more work than hell, yeah. But I got those experience, which was the most important for me. Actually, I ran away first day from the vessel, yeah. Together with my request, with the guy who
So like Prison Break, you wanted to leave the vessel?
It was, I believe it was also in Fujairah, if I'm not mistaken. We were sailing by boat around 4 hours. When I saw this vessel, when I came on board, I spoke with the crew, and they said they didn't get salary for last few months, and it was trash everywhere. You know? It was so tough. So no way gonna work here. Yeah, I was 19 years old. I was so scared, and I just jumped back into vessel, yeah, small vessel. and run away to work. What was the problem? That it was Emirates, yeah, for jailer.
Yeah.
And they say you're going to go to jail or you're coming back to vessel because my visa is about to expire. Yeah, and Arabians, they're so tough. And that time they were quite tough. It was 2008. I spent one night onshore. I was sleeping on a coach in office, some of this company, I don't know, agent company. And next day I came back. Actually, they promised me that I will go, they will make new visa for me, and I will fly back. But no way, of course. So, and I spent 4 months there. Yeah.
Do you remember a scary moment during your seagoing career? Like whether you were, what that was scared?
I believe one of the most scared was if seagoing, if you take into account seagoing, it was first my voyage, yeah. Because I didn't know that waves could be so high, yeah. And it could be vessel in ballast so noisy, yeah. It's hogging, sogging, it's so terrible, yeah. And it was waves, I think, around from 10 to 15 meters when we were going in ballast, just like on full speed, it was rolling like a hell, but the problem was not the rolling. When the wave just bringing you up and drop it into another wave, yeah. It looks like something will break. Sometimes it's very noisy, yeah. It's so scared. And then when it's going at night, when you're 18 years old, you're just waiting when will be a sound general alarm. And it's gonna be some crack or vessel will break on the pass. That was the most in seagoing career, yeah. Of course, it was a lot of oil spills, product spills and everything, but it was not that scary, yeah.
Did you sleep that time with the life jacket or immersion suit, something like that? Prepared or
I
not?
think it was standby. It was standby around, but it wasn't on me, but it was here.
Luckily, everything finished well.
Yeah, I have been in so many very heavy storms here, which waves up to 15 meters really, but I mean, when you're staying on a big tanker, yeah, you're not scared much. It's not a small so when you have experience here. In oil and gas, in FPSO, I had a lot, yeah. One of the hardest one, I remember morning time, safety officer called me, use my cargo operator, we were planning to enter the tank, yeah. And when they check atmosphere morning time, it was over of hydrocarbons. Tank was fully open, all hatches were open, 10 trunks for ventilation. It's a huge tank, around 30,000 cubes. And I came there and I just went outside, I already feel some smell of oil, of gas and oil. I thought, oh fuck, it's something wrong. Yeah. When they show me an equipment, it's over, yeah, even not even limit, it's just over. It's too high. And he asked me, what is this? So fuck, I don't know. It was great yesterday, yeah. I asked cargo operator, what is it? I don't know. So he took me to OEM and go to talk to OEM. But you know, what is the most scary? Because any spark, it will explode straight, yeah. Because concentration was so high. And it's, I mean, it could be, of course, opportunity from some equipment from tom side will drop into some spark or some ignition, and it will be, yeah. And you understand, you have to box.
So they didn't realize that it's too high?
They realize, and everybody understands.
But then later, but before
No, they
you
didn't
came.
realize because on FPSO so many valves are leaking. Because everywhere you always have gas and oil. So many valves could leak, and it was leaked at night. That was the problem. There was 1 meter of oil in crates when tank was fully ventilated with around 21% of oxygen, yeah. It was tough, yeah.
The oxygen is not the limiting only
Tank was
factor.
Tank was ready to enter, yeah. So any ignition source, it would be disaster, yeah.
That is scary.
When you fully understand what it's gonna be, and then I'm asking, so what we gonna do? I say, box up and then net. Okay.
When and how did you learn about your passion, FPSO, and few words about what does it mean? What kind of vessel is that? How narrow this industry is?
It's quite narrow, but how initially it was 2011 or 2014, the time it was mainstream that people work offshore. Everybody was aware about Bourbon offshore, yeah. Those guys were everywhere in their uniforms, they were so proud of themselves. At the time it was the highest price of oil and everybody was making a huge money. And it was quite easy for some of the people to join, yeah, and to get quite a good money. Directly like was DPO, yeah, without any education.
Well,
Everybody knows about the time, yeah.
you need some education for.
Okay, some courses, yeah.
Yeah.
How many people were from different industries, yeah, without any knowledge, without any clue?
No, I mean without experience, yes.
Yeah, it
They
was.
just
How initially it has been implemented, yeah? Everybody could be.
because the demand was very high.
Yes, of course, yeah. Oil and gas was growing like a hell, yeah.
The,
It was,
the bubble was growing.
yes, the bubble. And it was like mainstream, everybody talk about it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shorter contracts, bigger salary.
Yeah, but what was my point? I was hating what I was doing, yeah. I was working in 9 companies. I did 11 contracts in 9 companies.
So almost every new, let's say, contract, new voyage was different company.
Yeah, because I was not satisfied. I was trying to get something better. And company was higher level with higher salary, yeah. But I was not happy anyway. And I understood it's not gonna work for me, so I have to find something better. I tried, yeah, I was trying for a long time. It was thousands emails, hundreds of calls around the world because nobody needs you. I've been many times in Bourbon office in Odessa, but of course nobody needs you. If you don't have strong connection.
I didn't satisfy them either.
Yeah, because they say they don't do it, yeah, of course. And I was looking, and I remember I found the vacancy on jobatsea.org, I believe. There was something about FPSO, yeah, but they were asking for chief officer from BOCC. At the time I was second officer from, not BOCC, it was from Aframax, but of course it's a huge difference. And I called them, I want to, no, your experience is not enough for this position. I told, no, let's try. No, so finally I asked, they sent my CV, and company replied, yeah, I made an interview. I was pushing them a lot, and finally it took for me 8 months to join unit. It was from December, and I embarked, I think somewhere in August or something. I went for training in 4 months. 3 months it was in Brazil, and 1 month in Croatia. I went for training, I went home for vacation, I went for Croatia, I went home for vacation, and finally I flight to unit. But that was FSO, yeah. But that was one of the biggest FSO.
What is FSO?
Floating storage offloading. But this is not a storage tanker. It's a huge difference. And those vessels, it was in Brazil. It was 400,000 deadweight, 420 meter length, so it's a massive vessel. It was ex-UOCC, reconverted, and 4 platforms were pumping oil permanently. It was from 30,000 to 50,000 cubes per day we were seeing. 2 grades of cargo, it's a lot. We were doing offload every 3 months. Sorry, every 3 days. So I spent around 3 years there, yeah. And I've been replaced by a local due to nationalization. The company was 10 years in the market, in Brazilian market. They started from lowest position and slowly was going up. The idea was to replace all people by local guys. It doesn't work. They realized it, yeah. But I was one of the first one. That was my first experience.
That was in what position?
Was cargo technician, cargo supervisor later on.
Because you don't have any more like second officer navigation, chief officer navigation. Why?
It could be, but it's just a few FPSO in the world who has DP. Mainly it's somewhere in Malaysia and North Sea. Not many companies, they have some kind of position, yeah. But mainly, I know 95% of market is totally different.
Tell us about what is the biggest difference between the, let's say, tanker and FSO FPSO is?
I believe the similarity just that they have just cargo tanks and cargo system, yeah. LSA, FFA and something. But this is different, maybe it's just FSO, FPSO, it's like a refinery at sea.
But I wanted to hear they're at anchors, yeah, they're moored.
Mainly just 2 kind of mooring. It's spread mooring system alongside, yeah, it's like 4 mooring stations, port, starboard, forward and aft. So it could be from 5 usually to 7 mooring chains with anchors on the bottom, or turret mooring system. It's somewhere in the middle, could be in front or aft of the vessel. Some kind of turret and a lot of anchors under the turret, which is holding you.
So generally the vessel is not involved in navigation.
No, not at all. It could be disconnectable turret, but as I say, it's not many vessels nowadays. I know in Mexico has disconnectable turret, somewhere also in North Sea, but not many.
Generally the FPSO is the vessel, or let's say it's kind of the factory, the floating factory, which is coming to some location for 20, 30 years to stay there.
It's platform, but based on the class, it's still vessel, yeah. That's why we have minimum safe manning certificate, which is required captain, chief officer, chief engineer, and etc. That's why we are there, yeah. We are able to work there. But it doesn't have anything same with a vessel, yeah, except the class, that you have to comply with the class and all regulations. Mainly nowadays, all new vessels here, they have from 20 years to 30 years contracts with extension. So the idea just vessel came into location and will stay there for 20, 30 years without, and there is no way that vessel will leave. Any maintenance has to be on the field. And it's quite tough sometimes. Yeah.
So after that, working on FSO, you've been, let's say, kicked out from the company due to the replacement by national crew. You continue to look for the job, and having experienced in Brazil, you found the...
Yeah, I was looking. It took around about 3.5 months here to join another company. I found the same. It was FPSO. In Brazil, it was quite new FPSO, only 2 years old. I joined as supervisor with higher salary. It was interesting. What was interesting is the first question when they asked me, when I saw marine superintendent, is, do you have any experience offshore? I say yes. I say, oh. Thanks God. Was a Polish guy. Yeah. I started work, yeah. I couldn't understand how it could be so easy after FSO, yeah. FPSO, which is higher process, yeah, it's much more activities. But it was crazy easy for me, it's impossible easy. Yeah. And I think in 4 days they already left me to work alone and sent me to night because I had big difference with other people, so I was on. But it was quite nice, yeah. And I spent around 4 years there. I became a superintendent, as a captain there, so.
When you already been working on FPSO, FSO, were there people who were inspiring? Were there so good professionals which you say, well, I would like to be like them?
Yeah, it was, I remember, was one of OEM, South African guys, sorry, Francois, the most excited. He was trying to be so friendly with everyone. Yeah, he never put himself higher than others, which he has the highest rank. I haven't heard that he raised his voice at all. Yeah, doesn't matter what kind of situation, how deep shit was, he always very calm, and he trying to resolve any issue. I mean, he's solving. That was really inspired. I have learned a lot with him. I'm still in touch with him. And the last in office I met guy, also he was South African guy as well, 65 years old. I never saw so competent people absolutely in everything, yeah, in marine production and mechanic side. He knows absolutely everything. He's crazy workaholic, yeah. He has just work in his life. It's not, it has to be balanced everywhere, yeah, but it was like that. But I was so inspired how you can know so much. You can't cheat with him at all, yeah. No, I mean, such people really inspired you. You say, wow. And I asked, fuck, we were discussing about my OEM position in the future, yeah, in this company, and I asked operation manager, fuck, how I can be, this guy is incredible smart. See, but look at his age, he's twice older than you. You're gonna be the same at his age if you will continue. I think, yeah, but I don't want to be until 65. That's true, really, but he's an amazing guy.
What is the biggest difference between FSO and FPSO?
So the main difference in the letter P, yeah. FSO, floating storage offloading, and FPSO, floating production storage offloading. So P means production. That FPSO produce, it's coming like initial dirty crude, or how to say?
Raw.
Raw crude, yeah. And we have some kind of initial process of separation, of cleaning it, separate from the gas, from water. And we have just
Once you product something, where then it goes?
to the tanks for storage.
Okay, then from the tanks, how you offload?
Oil goes to the tanks, gas goes to the. It could be delivered to shore as well. It could be burned some extra gas through the flare. It could and injected as well to the risers. Same as water. Water will be injected. Where it goes?
Do you offload to shuttle tankers?
I used to work with shuttle tankers and with conventional tankers. Conventional is common tankers. It could be through SPM, SBM, some kind of buoy, or could be straight with the floating hose to the manifold. It will be one floating hose over than 200 meters. That will bring hose to the vessel, to the center manifold, connect and offload. But mostly of companies just discharge to shuttle tankers exactly on Brazil market. DP not less than 2, DP only 2-3. It's much easier and much safer, of course, because any conventional tanker still requires tug to hold from the back in case of any emergency, in case of loose propulsion.
Static towing.
Maintain. DP doesn't require it here. DP in case of any engine failure, in case of any bad weather or any accident, they can just drop hose into water and run away. Industry also, this is not for everyone, and a lot of people will say, no, it's not gonna work for us. It's not for us yet. It's crazy, And whenever someone new join, I always say straight from the chopper, welcome to the hell. And it's true,
Is it paid well, this suffer?
It's not. If you compare, it's not the highest salary on the market, I don't know what the salary is now on drilling rig. Before it was one of the highest, But FPSO gave you the most stable job. You can work forever. I mean,
this should be covered by the money. How much?
No, it covered.
How much? When you coming as a young specialist on FPSO,
no, let me talk
you
about,
can rely.
I will tell you, but let me talk about other benefits which other company will not give you.
Okay.
It's not about just money. It's not the highest salary, but we have also retirement plan. We have insurance. We have death insurance. One of my companies was paying 5 annual salaries, so which is quite interesting here.
Can you assure that every company covers this?
No, it's not every company, but one of the best main players will give it. Because it's not just about salary, it's about security and stability. Insurance, retirement plan, medical insurance for you. Company can pay full medical insurance for your family, or can cover 50% of cost, and of course rate will be perfect. My insurance was up to $2.5 million for everyone. What else? Some 13 salaries here. Some of the highest ranks could have 14 salaries. Bonus. Also, it's a lot of opportunity.
Okay. When we're saying about medication and insurance, is something when something happens, and we all try to keep ourselves safe and healthy. Then, if everything is good, and we wish everyone to be so, you are safe and healthy. You don't have medical issues and nobody dead. Then we're still coming back to this salary. That's what you have to come every month and put in your pocket and give to your wife. Then what you can do with that? Comparely to VLCCs or LPGs, FPSO still higher salary?
Much higher,
So it's not the highest in the rank, but still much higher.
No, not the highest.
Okay, not you, but generally, superintendent, between what and what he can gain, or per year,
okay,
or 12 salary, because now you will confuse with 13 salary, 14 salary.
No, but when company gives you annual salary, it's cover everything. Retirement plan,
Okay, annual salary for superintendent in the beginning, let's say beginner superintendent. How much?
130.
$130,000 per year.
Yeah, I believe.
Should
not be less.
Should not be less.
Should not be less for that kind of work. But of course, if you don't have any experience, it's...
If you don't have any experience, let's say you're not superintendent.
Oh,
Less than superintendent. Being a second officer on cruise.
okay, if you're not superintendent, you can be a supervisor. Yes, some kind of technician supervisor.
Okay.
So let's say 100.
100,000 per year. And you're working on off equally.
Yeah, 4 weeks, from 4 to 6 weeks on off.
Which is fair enough.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
But of course, you cannot compare supervisor and superintendent because superintendent.
No, we're talking about supervisor. We're not talking about superintendent. We're about
but
supervisor and salary.
You do your 12 hours shift, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody touch you anymore.
Okay.
Nobody is able to touch. If you want, you will stay longer, yeah.
Because you have another supervisor on another 12 hours.
If you want to show that you want to become superintendent, you want to learn something. It's
okay,
up to
then
you.
You're working harder. Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you, yeah. But you do your 12 hours, you can have rest 12 hours, yeah. And nobody will touch you at all. You're getting, yeah, around 100. It's a good place to do. But it will be a good place. It can be less, can be a little bit more. It's worth it, yeah. But it's not just about money, yeah. 4 weeks, yeah. And 4 weeks you're going to spend with your family. This is the biggest advantage, yeah. And nobody will hold you more like at sea. Doesn't matter you have your back-to-back or no have. It's up to you. If you're going to stay for a couple of days longer, week or whatever, or you're not going to stay. And most of the time, everybody will understand, yeah. You did your job, you're done. It's not like 1 month you don't have back-to-back, this is not convenient port, or
you need
have
to
money.
understand company.
No way.
We want team.
No way. We have choppers every day, so.
So this is up to company and their, let's say, failure on management if they didn't find your reliever. Or if the reliever is a pain in the ass and he, let's say, quit last moment.
Yeah, of course. But anyway, it's up to you, yeah. But nobody will hold you.
Did you have a situation when you've been asked to stay more?
No, but I have stayed by myself 6 months.
Because of COVID?
Yeah.
So, but then
From January to July, but it was my own decision.
own decision, you never step ashore.
No, they did actually in 100 days.
Yeah.
They disembarked because it was company policy.
Correct.
You can't stay over 100 days.
Correct.
It was in Brazil. But I went straight from heliport to quarantine for 7 days, and I went straight back to platform for 2 months or something like that. So I haven't been in shore mainly. It was much more worse to stay in isolated room, which you cannot go out at all.
Correct.
With the shitty food, yeah, than to stay on board.
How the food on board, on platform? It's okay?
It's fine, yeah. It's much better than on running vessel, yeah. It was, yeah.
Oh, it depends. I can argue here, because running vessel sometimes just perfect. And I know about the food in Brazil. Most of the people complain, but
You have very big choice.
the thing is, we're not talking about the food exactly in Brazil. But I was just asked if the food, what you meant, is okay.
Of course, it's not your home food. Yeah, I used to cook all the time. Yeah, I'm cooking, but it's fine. Yeah, you can always maybe agree if you have the highest rank, you can ask something.
Okay, this is advantage of superintendent. Now I know.
No,
now I know.
It's not about
I
superintendent.
understand you can stay longer than necessary. You just have your own menu.
No, it's not about superintendent. You have to be in a good relationship with everyone. This is another reason.
You look like a quite sporty guy. So, what are your hobbies currently? What you are busy with when you are on vacation?
No, actually, I was born like that. Yeah.
Oh,
I just do fuck all.
lucky you.
Okay, but if to be serious, yeah, I used to do many kind of sports my entire life. Yeah, it's just like main hobby. And exactly on board, I mean, gym or run, whatever. It's just like it's my church. Yeah, it's my rest time. Just mentally to reboot yourself, because it's a lot of stress always. Exactly when you're staying in highest position, it's always stress, yeah. And I have my 1 hour, 2 hours, we just fully reboot myself. But I used to do onshore as well a lot. I can do swimming, running, gym permanently, CrossFit sometimes, many kind of sports, I don't know, just try somewhere. My life is very dynamic, absolutely everywhere, so just part of the game.
When you've been during the childhood, you also been doing the same, or what kind of sports you've been attending?
I think I started maybe from My parents, they are not sporty at all, yeah. I mean, like most of them maybe in the XSSR. I started to train at 7 years old. I was doing karate for 5 years, I think. It was just beginning of that one. Later on I was doing Muay Thai, boxing, gym, swimming, boxing and some kind of that one. It was some break from 14 to 15 years old when I was drinking actually. I was drinking only that time at school. There was company which drinks a lot, yeah. So I used to drink with them, and after I back to sport I say no, it's not gonna work for me. And since then time I'm maintaining quite healthy life. Doesn't matter where I am. I have been training in so many gyms around the world. Even here I came for a couple of weeks to Spain. I already have been in 5 different gyms, so this is just lifestyle.
Okay, having experience to work onshore, what is your opinion? Is better to have, let's say, more or less stable and calm life on the platform or on the vessel, or to have an aim and to jump onshore?
I believe is that you have to try and you decide this one. For me, it was interesting, very interesting initially, yeah. From one side it's very interesting, but from another it's quite boring, yeah.
Again, boring. So you're bored
because it's not so dynamic like offshore. You don't have stress at all, not at all, you know. And I was missing that stress, that crazy situation where you don't know you're gonna explode today or tomorrow, and what you're gonna do next, yeah, to abandon or what. You don't have it, yeah. You will not have it.
So you get used to work under the pressure.
Yes, and there is no chance almost that you will go to jail from the office, yeah. So this is
not that much risk.
No, if you kill someone in the office only just.
Okay, if we're saying about can you tell me example if you have, or theoretically, because of what the person working on FPSO as a superintendent can go to jail? What can be the reason?
If someone will drop oil overboard, yeah, something like that. If someone will do, I believe it could be if cargo tank will explode during preparation, yeah, because you are not maintaining requirements here. You're not following company policy and requirements for safe operation. I mean, it's the same like a captain, yeah, if you do something.
I mean, the captain of...
It's the same, absolutely the same, yeah. It's gonna be the same rules, you know. If people will kill themselves, if people will hurt themselves based on your order or something, it's definitely the same. There is not so many situations, of course, and experience in industry, but it's possible, exactly. So many guys were in court.
Do you know such examples?
Some of the guys mainly were in court due to... Because we discharge oil, we discharge water overboard, we produce water, and some amount of oil always could be up to, so in Brazil is requirement up to 30 ppm, dirty oil water, like it's tank up to 15 ppm, yeah.
Correct.
And if you drop it with a lot of amount of oil, it will be catch up by satellite or by something, by some chopper, so you can go to explain why it happened like that.
So the risks onshore are less, but you still don't like it. Then what are your prospects?
I cannot say I don't like it, but in my case, maybe it's the best one just to do, for example, office job plus shipyard job, to bring vessel to operation, start up it, and to do this, again the same. And you're gaining all experience. Because to participate on the meetings, go through drawings, P&AD entire day, sometimes it could be quite tough, yeah. And you're going to work from Monday to Friday, from Monday to Saturday every day. So maybe you have 2 days off, like offshore you did your 4 weeks you're going to rest. So
generally you are missing a good vacation.
Yeah, and you're getting the same money, the same or more money offshore for half year of work, yeah. So it is different as well.
So onshore you haven't been paid that well.
Because onshore you're getting, for example, 12 salaries, yeah, mainly, every month. If you multiply everything, it will be the same, yeah. If you plus everything more or less.
But you work...
Because in onshore company pays for your apartment. For example, in my case in Singapore, they were covering 5,000 Singapore dollar per month, $3,000 for food, some transportation.
They cover it, yeah?
Yeah, so they cover over than 8,000 Singapore dollar.
Per month.
Plus taxes, plus everything, so they pay a lot. Plus they pay your salary as well.
Yevgeny, what do you think? What is the main difference or huge difference working in, let's say, offshore oil and gas and on the shipping, like merchant fleet?
The main difference, of course, duration of contract, yeah, and stability and security. No one shipping company will give you such stability and security. And I don't know what is common nowadays. 4 months, yes, still contract.
4 to 6.
I think LNG industry is around 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
But it's hard to join still. You have to born maybe there. Yeah. It was before, but now you still can do. Anyway, so offshore, yeah, industry and exactly like platforms, rigs, construction give you very short contract. I think 28 days. It's minimum from 28 days to 42, from 4 to 6 weeks, which is much better for your family, yeah. Of course, you can see your wife, your kids, I don't know, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. So every month, you can say. And for me, it's always been beneficial, and it always will be beneficial. You can get break from each other. You avoid such routine like every day. But when you are staying 4 months, 6 months, you're totally abstracted from common world, yeah. So you still have to learn how to be in normal life, yeah? And it takes sometimes up to a week or months for someone, yeah. In offshore, you don't feel it. You just have to adjust your jet lag, because it can be sometimes 12 hours difference, yeah. And you're back to normal life with your family, with your kids, and normal life. This is the main difference. Plus, money-wise, of course, it's different. It could be double. It could be, if you compare with bulk fleet, it could be, I don't know, 4 or 5 times higher. Your money-wise, which you will get, and stability, of course, you know. And there is no limit, of course. Your value is much more higher when you are staying in oil and gas. Yeah, you can jump between sectors, you know. There is no limits as well when you work in shipping. Everything depends from you, but I believe oil and gas just gives you much more opportunities. And this just sailing, seamen, just step to go into something much better, much higher.
More opportunities.
Much more, yeah. You know, most of the people don't have any idea what is that, but it's very interesting. Yeah.
I think generally from shipping, we can say you can just, let's say jump to superintendent maximum and jump between vessels. And in oil and gas, you have a lot of so many positions, so many people involved in the process.
Yeah, you can do cross-training, reference, you can go to production, whatever you want. Yeah, it's actually, it doesn't require much education. It depends from you. Just in my case, for last 2 years, I have been living in so many countries. I was over than a year in Singapore, in China, over 5 months, Mozambique, half year. I mean, a bit of Ukraine. Yeah, I was visiting Spain as well. So it's up to you. Yeah.
So you prefer this life?
Yeah, I can't stay longer than 1 month in a place. Yeah, I used to stay in Shanghai 3 months, in Singapore 3 months without out. We do some trips internal, yeah, 4 or 5 hours by car, but it's not like that. I need fly somewhere far. It's just my lifestyle, yeah. But what you move on, yeah, and I love it, yeah, actually. But what could be better, yeah.
Good.
It's develop yourself, yeah. And when you work just on one vessel, and exactly when people used to work in one company 10, 15 years, 20 years, they're even scared to go somewhere, yeah. I mean, they're scared to lose their jobs, that nobody values them anymore in other company, but it's not true, yeah. I have been already in oil and gas, and I think it's gonna be now my 5th company. Yeah, 5th company for 10 years. Of course, it's much better than 9 companies on 11 embarks and 11 contracts, but anyway, it's true. And what's the most important here, to maintain good relationship absolutely with everyone here, because recommendation is one of the biggest factors to join some sweet place here nowadays.
That's true. The connections, the networks, actually doing all things.
Yeah, and exactly we on a FPSO market, it's a very narrow market, so we know a lot of people. Yeah, we know each other mainly, and we recommend each other to work. We want to work with professionals. Yeah, it's not about just professional. You have to be able to work with a high POB, with a high crews. Yeah, flexibility, one of the most important skills nowadays. When you work with 20 people, and when you work with 100, 200 people, it's a big difference. When you're managing small team and a huge team with plenty nationalities, it's a huge difference.
So here we are, flexibility and building of your connections, network between your professionals. So this is the most important.
Yeah, it's one of the most important, yeah. And nobody teach us at school, this one. Yeah?
Absolutely, nobody explained that. That's what we are doing now. We're actually sharing the experience so that you really know what to do, because there is no subject in education and STCW, nothing.
They're going to input in our heads just knowledge, something, yeah. But what are you going to do with this knowledge if you're not able to communicate with the people?
To be an ambitious tool, that's what you're going to do. That you will work a lot and you will ask less. And I inspire and motivate people, be professional, grow, achieve results. And of course, with this, you will have, let's say, self-actualization and of course, money, income.
Yeah, and do not afraid anything, yeah.
No, not now.
Not at all. Yes.
I mean, in our time, I think we have so many opportunities. I mean, you have to afraid to enter the tank, the enclosed space entry, with which was not inspected properly. That's you need to think twice or triple times. That's you need to afraid to go to this situation. But to attempt to try, I think.
Well, what is the biggest mistake of the people? They give up so fast. Yeah, I always take into example like kid who is growing up and who's trying to learning how to walk. Yeah, how many times they fall down? 20. Does it stop them? No, not at all. They trying, and finally they. You know, many kids, people, humans who doesn't walk at all? No, not at all. If they don't have any limitations. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to actually save this feeling inside, yeah, that attempts, even if it is unsuccessful for some reason, you need to get up and continue.
Yeah, and exactly in my case, it took 3 years to change industry. Yeah, about 3 years.
Yeah, it's a huge time.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and I did not give up. So and I like, and I'm happy where I am now. Yeah.
Yeah, now you are in good time, in a good place.
I mean, it's so everything depends on you. So which is really, unfortunately, our schools, university don't teach you how to be adopted to what, yeah, how to adopt yourself. And the market, the life is very dynamic. You have to learn those skills how to be dynamic as well, and do not afraid anything.
What is your next vision, your prospect? You are going to continue onshore, or you want to come back or work on the platform?
No, my next one, I want to come back to project, to finish project. Maybe I would like to become an OEM, Operation Installation Manager, maybe in next 2 years, maybe earlier. I hope so, plus minus. Maybe to work until 38, 40 years old maximum and just move to onshore or just move to a totally different industry.
What is required? Any specific certificate or, let's say, skills to work on FPSO or to become offshore installation manager?
No, it doesn't require anything here. Everybody could be an OEM, absolutely everybody, yeah. Based on history, mainly it's almost all the time just production guys, mechanics, instrument guys. But it could be marine as well nowadays. It depends from the company, it depends from you. But that doesn't require any certification at all. I mean, it's required certification, which you will get in a week, yeah? It doesn't require education.
Just courses, yeah.
Just courses, yeah. I mean,
just
applicable to current market, to current country, CCVW or some in Brazil local NRs, and 1 week training. Well, I mean, Operation Installation Manager, that's it.
Yeah. It's not that...
It's just up to you, if you want to be and if you have enough ambitions, yeah.
So generally, it's up to you and how company feels you, relates to you. Yeah. So the company need to trust you enough to put you in this position.
So you have to prove that you're able to do so, and company will see it. It's up to you everything. If you want, you will be. Yeah. But you have to do something for it.
Okay. From your height of vision, what 3 things you would advise a young mariner, let's say, to develop now for future successful career?
First of all, you have to understand what you want. You should have some passion, yeah? Because it's very hard to understand what you want initially when you don't have any idea what is that, yeah? But so you can consider money which you can get in the future. Yeah, it will motivate you because money one of the biggest motivation. I never thought, I don't know, when I was 18 years old, 14 years old, 20 years old that I could earn such money like now. Yeah, I never know even such salaries exist at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
So it was interesting, but I don't know what kind of salary could be, what I will get in 10 years, in 5 years.
You still don't know many things, I can
I
tell.
mean, definitely it will be much more, but of course it will be. So I believe money factor will be the first, so you should have some kind of passion, yes, some kind of target, yeah, which you have to go. Well, next one, of course, I believe you have to invest time and money into languages, yeah. Initially, it has to be minimum English and Spanish, minimum.
Why Spanish?
Because if you know Spanish and English, you can work all over the world. If you add Mandarin as well.
So, do you really honestly believe that the language is a factor to get the job opportunity?
It will give you an advantage.
Yeah.
In front of others. And exactly if you're young, if you started as a career, yeah, it will give you a huge advantage because there are no many people who is going to speak fluently at 18 years old, 20 years old. So
did you know okay, the third thing, the third advice for the successful career?
To be very hardworking. I think this is the last one, yeah. To show. Do not be lazy, yeah. You can grow up very fast exactly nowadays, yeah. When industry is growing. So just to work hard, yeah. And to show everyone around that you want, that you deserve it, yeah. And you have to be always ready in current rank for next rank. Minimum for next rank, yeah. And don't be lazy, yeah. Forget about sleep, games, I don't know, whatever. Internet or something, just work. And my advice, you know, that seaman seafarer career, it just, you have to consider it's temporary because seaman doesn't bring you a lot of money, yeah? Doesn't bring you a lot. It's better to do 4 weeks, yeah, in front of 4 months. And better to earn double. And there is no limit at all. It's everything depends on your ambitions. Everything just on your ambitions. You can easily become, I don't know, one of the highest managers in the company, onshore, whatever. Everything depends on you. Captain and chief engineer, this is not the final stage. It's just beginning of your career. And I truly loved my job since I became marine superintendent. It's like equivalent to captain, yeah, on FPSO. I can say that my career just began from that stage. And it's going to be very interesting to see what I will achieve here.
Since we were talking about English, where did you study English? How good you knew English when you, let's say, became first contracting officer?
I don't know. I was studying from school, yeah, initially. I was doing a lot of courses here, trainings. Were you able to speak fluently on, let's say, when you were 20? No, I was not able to speak maybe fluently when I was 30 years. Actually, I raised my level when I came on shore to Singapore, yeah, and exactly common life. I was quite strong in all technical skills. And
so, which means let's say a bit more than a year ago.
Yeah, I mean maybe. Yeah.
So that's why we couldn't make interview earlier because you simply could not speak English.
I can, but you know, for common life it's totally different. I didn't know a lot of expressions, words, whatever. I think for last 1.5 years it's become much more fluid. Based on my profession, yeah, I know it well, yeah, for a long time. But based on common life, which you can fluently speak everywhere, that people could understand you, yeah. Nowadays, you should not speak like native, yeah. It's not main anymore, like it was before, yeah. Like when we were kids, they teach us you have to speak like native, this pronunciation, blah blah blah. It doesn't make any sense. The most important that people will be able to understand you, yeah. You can speak with your own accent, you know, and it will give more pleasure.
The most important, you need to reach the heart and brain of others.
Yeah, that is really. But English really is very important because you can't speak well, I think, if you are not staying in that environment, yeah. If you're not staying between native speakers, it's very hard, really. You have to use English 24 hours per day.
Absolutely. If somebody would ever ask me, I would say you need to put, let's say, decide to put yourself to uncomfortable position, because there is no way you can feel yourself comfortable and really learn, like in comfort. I put myself in uncomfortable position because was no other way to learn it. You need to, maybe somebody would relate to you first months, 2 months, like to somebody who's crazy, can't speak, but better to feel it when you are 19, 20 years old than when you are 30, 35.
It's going to be much easier, you know, but you're right, you have to, actually my point, you have to, my opinion, you have to dive into deepest shit here to feel it, you understand?
I didn't say though, I didn't say that.
But it's not enough to dive, because you can dive and just do survival mode here.
Okay.
Or you can grow up here, you can develop yourself.
Okay.
It's not enough just to go out of comfort zone. You have to do a lot to stay afloat there.
For the people who like continuous pressure on themselves. Okay, then they go your way.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna work. Yeah.
And a simple question from me, since we are both navigators,
But such moment, I haven't been on navigation once around 10 years.
No problem. I can tell you there is a...
I'm still specialist in navigation based on my COC, yeah.
Absolutely. And then...
Deep sea captain, but...
Deep sea captain without butt.
Without navigation.
On the huge, let's say, floating platform, which considered as a vessel, and it is more than 200 meters and more than 100
More than 300 meters.
Okay, then.
Over 400.
As per COLREG, this is collision regulation, what sound signals such a vessel need to give during the fog?
The fog? I have to call, I think, radio officer for it just to...
So generally, what I want to say...
One blast in 1 minute, yeah?
So, gentlemen...
Correct is not important anymore.
If you know the answer, please write in the comment, so both of us, we can read it. And as you understand now, you need to work hard, know a lot, but not everything. You can find, you cannot be professional in everything, correct? And some skills, they cannot be maintained if they are not applied or they are not demanded every time, yeah? So, but if you find yourself in some position and you will grow and you will work enough, you will definitely earn a lot of money. And I believe our time is the time of opportunities. Are you agree with me?
Yeah, of course. Everything depends from you and what you want.
This is when underway and you are at anchor.
Yeah. I don't know if you do even it. I don't know if they do it even.
Yeah, I think you don't, but I think you have to.
I think I heard mainly navigation lights can just be on 24 hours per day.
It's not lights, it's a sound signal.
I know, but sound signals.
The navigation
I heard a few
lights,
times that Typhoon stuck, just fucking stuck.
just because it was not greased.
Just and we were showing how to stop it, but no, we don't do it, yeah. Correct is not applicable. FPSO.
So FPSO is not a vessel anymore.
Fucking you can see it easily. It's a huge, construction.
In the fog you can't see it. You have to be able to hear it.
But nobody can enter 500 meters zone without our permission.
If you see,
nobody can enter 500 meters without our permission.
You underestimate talented navigators, which have no actually clue that there are some 500 meters.
No way. Just fishing boat can come inside without any request.
Anyhow, Yevgeny, thank you very much. It was a great pleasure and interesting, and I believe it was very valuable for everybody who is watching, and I hope in few years we'll hear from you new achievements. Thank you for coming.
I hope so. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you all, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell if you like this video, and in order to be notified that new video are coming out. Keep in touch.